ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe.
Code needs to be redone so bad.
Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Marvel Legends Deluxe Infinity Saga Thor Ragnarok movies Surtur. Try and get your Marvel Legends, you can do so at
Search your feelings, you know it be true.
Darkside Toys is a store for you. Link below. And while you're down there, I ask you to please hit that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And holy crap, this thing is massive. I knew it was going to be a large figure, but just looking at it in the box right over here, it looks so huge and badass. Anyway, really like the window packaging right here. On the side, you can see a whole bunch of Avengers and Guardians, and on the back, you can see the movie poster for Thor Ragnarok. There's a read up over here in multiple languages. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. Then on this side, we get another image of Avengers right there from the Infinity Saga. On the top, you get a spot varnished Thor Ragnarok Surtur right over there written as well. Not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here is Surtur out of the packaging. Usually I add some color filters to my lights when I do this rotation segment, but with this figure right here, I just wanted you guys to see all the variation of colors that we're seeing on this piece. It looks fantastic. He does have some accessories, so let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. I do wish we had a removable crown for the figure, but still, I'm happy with what we see here, and forgive the gushing over paint detail and sculpt. I will say that repeatedly throughout this review because holy crap, there's so much awesome paint detail and sculpt. I mean, I can't help it. Look at this, looks gorgeous. I love this blood red fading into the orange right over here. You can see all the detail. This is so sick, man. Yeah, very, very big old sword right over here. And then he does come with a fist hand for the left side, and you can see that charred paint detail right over there, and you have the translucent orange with it, looking really badass. You can see it again right over here. It looks really awesome. The fact that we get a right wide open hand, I don't know, kind of made me want to do a whole power sword kind of thing, right? I have the power! You can see these hands right here look dope as well. You can see the little fingernails and everything sculpted on there, and they're pliable enough where it's not too tricky to get him to hold his sword. And it's worth noting, all of the hands, except for just the left sword holding hand, they all have a vertical hinge. This hand has the horizontal hinge. One thing I love about this figure is that you could double it as a 616 Surtur and your MCU Surtur. A little bit off from the 616, but still, both designs are incredible. They're very similar to each other, and holy crap, look at that mouth, those teeth, all the sculpted detail and paint over here is just incredible. I love seeing the black paint over the orange plastic. The white paint over the eyes looks really good, so you can get a little bit of the effect right over here with the colors. Oh, geez. That is sick, right? Man, that is cool. I don't know why my camera illuminates on its own like that. It looks like the figure is glowing, but still, very, very neat that you could do that. I want to get a closer look at the crown. As you can see, all that nice paint sculpt right there. I'm just going to say paint sculpt instead of paint and sculpt. Here's a look at the back of the head. You can see that they do have some yellow added to it right there. So it's not just one color going through. We have some flames with some black paint over it. I like that we're seeing some nice paint on the back of the figure. That makes me happy to see. Not every single part of it has the paint on there, though. You can see on the back of this form it doesn't, which doesn't really bother me, man. It just doesn't, but there's some more flame added right there, and you can see the translucent plastic colors change throughout on the figure. You know, sometimes they use yellow, sometimes they use orange, sometimes there's more of a red coming through, but yeah, here's looking at the chest again without all the light shining behind it. When we bend the torso back, you can see that we still get a lot of consistent sculpt and paint on here. This is so freaking sick. Oh man, I'm so stoked about this thing. They have some yellow paint added right here, so I guess they just missed some paint on the back of this side, but they got it on that side. So that's kind of a trip. But there's your Surtur butt. Legs look really good, man. You can see not all of it is painted. I like how it goes from yellow to orange right here. I'm satisfied. I mean, really, there's not enough paint missing on the back to upset me. It looks like it's really well painted through, and it's really just this one arm right here. But the rest of it, yeah, we get color variation. I'm pleased. So that looks sick, man. Really love this paint sculpt. It is incredible. And then on top of that, we get the Surtur toes. Yeah, there we go. Wait, there's the bottom of the feet right there, and he does have peg holes. It's worth pointing out that they did get the inside of the legs over here, like really like deep in the taint and everything, crotch pits, all that has paint. So I think everywhere where we don't see paint, it was strategically done that way for a reason. So I mostly like the articulation. I have my gripes with it. For instance, the head doesn't move up too much. So yeah, he can just look up that far. I mean, it's a larger figure. You want him to look down more so, and he can move his head down that far. Doesn't really shift forward and back. You do get side to side motion, and you do get head tilting right over here. So that's pretty cool. The left shoulder right here will move outward just that far. Unfortunately, I have extra plastic on the right shoulder right here, and that's keeping me from getting to move the shoulder outward more than that. So that's a big gripe for me, or my biggest gripe with this figure. You could rotate the shoulders all the way around. You do get a bicep swivel, and then we get the double jointed elbows, which are pinless, and then the wrists, I already went over that articulation, but they all swivel side to side. You get a diaphragm joint right here. Good diaphragm pivoting. At the diaphragm only, it crunches forward that much. At the diaphragm only, back that much, and then we get the waist crunch right here. So with both joints, he bends over that far, and with both joints that far back, you get the hips that move outward that much. And I will say there are parts of the legs that do feel a bit loose to me. You can kick forward, back a little bit. Upper thigh cuts were pretty stiff, getting it out of the box right away. Pinless joints once again, and yeah, the knee joints do get looser on me than I'd like, so definitely want to point that out. You can see them bend in very far right here. We do get nice ankle or calf articulation. There's a cut right over here. Then the ankles move down. They do move up quite a bit, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. Now to measure out this Surtur figure, you can see that to the top of the crown over there, it is at about the 13-inch mark. Just at the top of the head, you're looking at about 12 inches. And I did measure out the sword. It's at about 10.5 inches across, or long. And I did measure out the sword. It's at about 10.5 inches long. Then for a size comparison, we have some other large MCU figures. We have the Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure and the deluxe release of the Giant Man figure. And I would like to see Hasbro make a 16-inch Giant Man, or at least a 13-inch Giant Man. That would be really sweet. I'd really hope to see a larger Giant Man. That would be cool. And then to compare Surtur next to a 12-inch Marvel Legends Icons or Marvel Legends Series 12-inch figure, you can see him next to the big-time badass custom from Dave Wheeler. Thank you so much, Mr. Wheeler. I'll have a link to his YouTube channel. He's been hosting awesome streams lately with Robo from the Foosh, so I highly recommend those. But as I mentioned earlier, this kind of does have that 12-inch Marvel Legends kind of feel. And then to compare Surtur next to another large figure, I had to build out the Build-A-Figure Galactus from the Toy Biz days, because I guess I've had Galactus on the brain for some reason, but I really just wanted to see how these two scaled next to each other right here. I mean, God, this is looking smaller and smaller every day. And then to compare Surtur next to a Hot Toys figure, we have the Hot Toys Endgame Captain America, and I have not reviewed this yet. I would like to review it. It's a pretty sweet figure. And then here's Surtur next to all of my Thor Ragnarok movie figures, or characters anyway. We have Loki, Hela, Scourge, we have the Gladiator Hulk, we have our Gladiator Thor, and we have Valkyrie. And seeing all these figures like this, I mean, I know Surtur's not in scale, just to get that out of the way. Yeah, he's not perfectly in scale. He could be larger, but I still really like the size of this figure. And if this was just one complete wave of Marvel Legends, how sick would have that have been, right? I mean, could you imagine like individual fresh sculpts across the board, a really, really large Build-A-Figure like that? And I know I got a lot of comparisons today, but I had to compare Surtur next to the Age of Ultron Thor. We see Thor looking like this when he fights Surtur in the movie. I'm trying to just see what the crown would look like on his back. You know, it doesn't really scale perfectly or anything. It doesn't scale well at all, actually. This is not nearly big enough. And then here's Surtur next to the only other Marvel Legends Infinity Saga figure that I've reviewed. We have the Mark III Iron Man. And then here's Surtur next to the SH Figuarts Infinity War Hulk figure, which may fit better with this Surtur because that's how he looked at the end of Ragnarok, right? And then here's Surtur next to my only 3 3/4 inch MCU Hulk figure in my collection. We have the Avengers movie 3 3/4 inch Hulk, and I still don't think this scales perfectly. It's a lot closer. And then here's the deluxe Surtur next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Well, you know what they say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Put it there, pal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please show some love to the channel by simply clicking that like button. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. And a big thanks to all these people over here that go the extra mile to support this content via the Tron and membership. I post about every day over there. If you're interested in supporting, check it out. Link below. This figure is awesome. I can't sing its praises enough. I mean, I have my little gripes. I talked about little gripes. And I guess the biggest one is that clump of plastic plastic on the right shoulder. If you have this figure, please let me know in the comment section below if you have that on the shoulder as well. I'm just curious to know if it's just my copy or if it's like that with all of them. But other than that, the paint apps, the sculpt just absolutely blow me away. There's just something about this kind of revolting, charred up, fleshy looking figure that just looks beautiful to me. I really dig this a lot. And at the price point of around 50 to 60 bucks, yeah, it's expensive. It's a large figure, but it has a lot of goodies to it, and I'm giving it a Sun rating of... And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. If you want to see the latest Marvel news and a photo gallery of images, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. I do post on TikTok, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face,